What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it does not matter what you drive because this is your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd. If I can get my lighting right. There we go. Maybe y'all can see me now. What is going on, everybody? Sorry it's taking a minute to get here. This has been a cluster F of a day just for me to get to this point in my life, so we're going to leave it at that. And Danny, that's not your normal background, sir. What is going on, dude?
It is not. I was thinking about sticker bombing the hotel. If you want to call this a hotel. I am out at training in an Air Force base in some beautiful accoutrements that they put me up in. So I'm quarantined to this room, unfortunately, until Sunday, and then I can come out and do stuff. I'm not quarantined because I'm sick. I'm just quarantined because I came from another place. But yeah, I'm up here for training, doing some stuff. I got a free little time up here, so I've been just studying, hitting the books, and next week's fun stuff. But yeah, having a good time, I guess.
Hitting the books, buddy. What do you mean hitting the books? What are you getting smarter on me?
Apparently. Well, I don't know about that. I'm learning things that apparently I'm supposed to know.
Right.
Yeah, we got a little bomb building class coming up here in the next 2 weeks. So.
Like photo bomb?
Yeah.
Like you're doing photo
bombs? like carpet bomb.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. It sounds a little
like
a little
guided
different.
Bomb, like through the window, blow up your house bomb.
Well, that sucks for you because I'm enjoying a nice $100 bottle of Jack Daniels, and you're not enjoying anything, I'm sure.
I'm enjoying about a 20-cent Coors. I think that's about what they probably come down to.
Well, let's see.
I got it at about. Oh, go ahead.
We got B. Warren in the house, Smitty's Garage, Jeff Cordetti. We got Kevin Monet. We got a few normals in the house, guys. You know the drill. Smash that like button for me. If you would share this somewhere, put us out in space somewhere. I don't care, Mars, wherever. But all right. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
I don't even know what I was going to say. It was very unimportant as well, all I remember.
Well, mostly what we say is very unimportant, I think, right?
Yeah, I can't remember anything important that I've said in a long time.
Well, speaking of unimportant, man, I dropped a video a couple days ago, and it must be very unimportant because nobody has watched this video, and I mean, like, nobody. It's the worst video I've ever dropped on the channel, and I'm actually kind of proud of that video, and, well... nobody's watched it, Dan. I guess people aren't just ready for BMW talk on this channel just yet, other than the fact of when you mention it, we all drink.
This might get hairy.
Right. Yeah, this show, if you're drinking for the BMW shots, it could be a little dicey. But Dan, how have you been doing though, other than the fact that you've been quarantined to hell there?
Well, it's hard to like live life when like the 3 weeks before I came here, other than just like some family vacations and stuff like that. It's weird because for me, I kind of plan my life like 1 month at a time. Like I can't think fast. Like you've known that for a long time,
Yes.
But knowing like the next whole month is gone, like there's nothing I can do for the whole next month. It was just kind of like I was just kind of almost treading water. I didn't really have anything to look forward to. So all I'm doing is just looking forward to being done with this. It's not the hardest thing in the world over here, but there's a lot of I go on for hours about what we're doing here and whatnot. There's a lot of stressors put on me here, and I just want to I'm real anxious right now. I'm super anxious about the next 2 weeks. You know, you don't want to fail. There's tests and evaluations and stuff when you do all this stuff, and you're set up for success, but at the same time, it's a little nerve-wracking. So I'm not a stressful person, but like when I get a little bit anxious for something, I'm like, dang, man, this is no fun. So nothing's going on.
Danny's a man of smooth, easy times, man. Danny, a man that drinks Coors Light like he's doing right now is...
I've been drinking a lot of Coors Light. Like the second I get out of class, it's like 5 o'clock. The second I get out of class, I just come back to the room and I've just been pounding Coors Light, because if I was to drink this amount of beer that I've been drinking and it was expensive, it might get a little pricey up in here.
So there's no 805 down there or whatever it's called, right?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any, to tell you the truth.
What? Come on, dude. You're a man of classy beers, man. That's a good beer. Well, so guys, what is up? So in the comments here, Nissan Nation, Hawaii. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ronald. So what is up with the or with the BMW chat, guys? Like you guys knew for a month now that this is coming, and nobody really wanted to know about the old 5 Series, Dan. I mean, Danny knows. You should know all about this car because this is right at the end of your time with BMW,
Yeah, I think I just started seeing these right before I left.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
It was I saw the motor for a lot before it left. That motor came in the 335, and then they came out with that in the 535. But that motor was around for a little bit before it popped out in that body style. So that twin turbo motor was really cool when it first came out. You know, it had its problems just like any other motor that comes out.
Wait, a BMW having problems? Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
yeah. Rattly waste. I think we talked about it. Rattly wastegates, injectors, high pressure pumps. I think those were the main things that I changed. And those are the right off the top of my head. They fixed most of that stuff, but
Right. Well, what's funny about it is, of course, I knew going into this thing that these type of cars are finicky. They're cutting edge generally, and you're gonna
when
have
they came out, yeah, they're more things or more cutting edge technology is usually in those.
right.
There's a little
Well,
bit more build quality as well in some of the areas. There's more money in the items. Like some of the suspension is cast iron as opposed to stamped steel, et cetera, et cetera.
right. Well,
But
I've definitely I did it in the video. If you guys haven't yet, please go over and watch that video. Help support the channel. But I document a couple things in that video where it just buttons that wear out. So like for a car that's 9 years old, the buttons
Yep.
literally look like they're 60 years old. Like
I swear to you,
some
Dave.
kid just constantly touched them.
Dude, they have had that problem since the early 2000s. I don't know how many cluster or not clusters, but like control units where it's AC control unit or whatever, where I changed it out because the buttons are all like they're all just like worn off. I do not get how BMW makes such a great machine and they have so many really great things, and then they just have like these janky little buttons that wear out so quick or something. I never quite got that. Some stuff is all right in the interior. Some stuff's really good and nice.
Well,
And
so
then it's just randomly, it's just some junky buttons or whatever.
things that I like on the Juke that I've got, things that were worn out were the steering wheel. It's roughly it's a 2011, so roughly the
Which
same
you kind of
age.
expect,
Yeah,
depending on
this-
people's hand sweat.
And nothing else in that car really looked. Maybe the shifter knob is a little worn. Other than that, the Juke looks fairly factory fresh. But the BMW steering wheel looks brand freaking new. The things that you would expect to show somewhere, show zero wear. Things that you would think, oh, I just touched that one time when I'm driving. I'm amazed. Like there's the little,
well, were you just like,
yeah.
yeah? No, I hear you, dude.
Like the back, the little map holders or whatever you call the little things behind the seats, the little things. On one side, it's broken. Like, and you can just looks like it just fell apart. And the problem I'm having with some of these little things is since they don't make this car anymore, like it's junkyard parts to find them. And of course, I got a color. The interior color is not a normal color, the cinnamon that I've got. So that makes it even harder to find some of these parts. But we're going through, and I've got some stuff planned. Danny, I've got a brand new grill for it. I've got new buttons because I did find that you can pop those buttons off instead of having to replace the whole like AC control unit. Those buttons pop off, and you just pop new freshies on there.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So I've got some stuff like that. I think I'm gonna put. It's only got run flats on the front. Somebody put Nexon tires on the back. They cheapened out. Is what they did. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the run flats back on the back of this thing, which there's $700, because run flats are expensive. But since this car has 0 spare tires, I also don't want to be traveling somewhere and being like, well, F it, they're now called the tow truck. Like, I have got no way to, if I have a flat. But anyways, I'm overall though, I've put about 1,000 miles on this car now, Dan, and I'm amazed at this car. It's a nice car. Just a couple weird things about like quality, but I did notice it's so sensitive. The gas cap is sensitive. If you don't get that sealed just right, all of a sudden you got a check engine light popping on. I've had 2 check engine lights popping on in less than a month. All being like silly things. Oh, and the TPS sensor, it keeps dinging. And I went and had
that's pretty typical for a car of that year.
It is. So I took it to Discount Tires, and I had them check the sensors. You know, they got the little thing. They just run by the sensors, check the battery of them. They're all great. So I've read into BMW there's a little box under the car that does the signals out to it, which is a common problem. Guess what? That box goes out. So it's like it's random. Like you could go 400 miles and it never ding. And then in a mile stretch, it dings 4 times, and you got to constantly reset the thing. But overall, the car's been fun. I hope you guys do tune into some of the stuff. I do have some stuff, like I said, grills and stuff I'm redoing, tires. I may add an intake to it. I don't know, man. I don't know how far I want to go with this because I'm probably getting rid of it this summer. So I don't know if I want to go stupid crazy because the buyer. What do you think? The buyer for a car like this, Dan, is probably. It's a guy that doesn't want it modded, basically. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say 90% of the people that are looking for that are just looking for slightly less expensive luxury sedan.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So yeah,
like your wife or something.
I even thought about keeping it and just dropping it and having a lot of fun with it because that motor, it for 300 horsepower, man. That and it's a big car, a 5 Series.
It's got a great torque curve.
Yeah. And it'll hit some RPMs for a straight 6. That's what amazes me as well. But I've heard these things catted out and stuff, and you know piped out and stuff. They sound so good, and it's so tempting to want to do that. But you know all the money I've sunk into the Juke, and by the way, there's still no buyer on the Juke, Dan. I'm a little upset with that, but not really.
It's pretty sad.
I was having fun in the Juke today, by the way. But Kevin, thank you for that super chat, man. Kevin, what are you talking about? Normal shoes, bro? I got some cool. For those that don't know, I'm a shoe guy, and I'm a late in life shoe guy. For some reason, about 2017, I decided Adidas kicks were my thing. And I probably have 20 pair in my closet now. It's crazy.
Jeez.
I'm worse than a woman with shoes. I swear to God. And these that I bought the other day, Danny, I just have to show people. They have to see this. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys tuned into Shoe Nation, where we look at shoes. There you go. Kevin, $9.99 for new shoes in a normal color. We're busting chops because Dave just bought a set of I thought they looked like mint green. They might be like a pastel blue. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe we'll see here in a second. You guys will get to see the horrific shoe choice that Dave decided to land on. But apparently Dave's into shoes now, and we get to hear all about it. Listener drop in 10, 9, 8. Viewing going down slowly as Dave reveals his shoes. I'm glad you guys are with me on this. Please, in the comments, just blow these things up. Destroy his soul, his morale, his excitement about his new shoes. I hope you guys really just tear him apart, because that's what I think that's best for everybody. Frank B, what up? Dave has a wardrobe of 90s alternative music video. Dave is a walking 90s alternative music video.
I don't even know what Danny's saying, and I can tell he's being a shithead. All right, I'm back, guys.
No, I was just reading B Warren's comments, which are always solid. He said Dave has a wardrobe of a 90s alternative music video.
I'm a child of the 90s. Perfect.
Yeah, and I said you're a walking billboard of that.
I'm an ex-musician from the 90s, guys. What do you expect? So, all right, so Dan, into the shoe conversation. Just we might as well. Kevin dropped some money.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Well,
he dropped some money for you to buy some new shoes that weren't a lady color.
So I brought a sampling of Dave's shoe wardrobe here. So first off, we're going with these beautiful Adidas shoes. Okay. Look at that, Dan.
Let's notice the common color. First, let's go. They're black with bright orange, of course. All right.
Yep. Look, there's
Exciting.
There's
Very
no
exciting,
dirt on
Dave.
these, Dan. These are
Yeah, I
prime.
know. Yeah, you only wear them around the house. We got it. We got
No,
it.
no.
Next.
All right. So you're gonna. Oh, Dan, I can't. I gotta save that one. All right. So here's Danny.
Oh no! I've seen these.
You have seen these.
I've seen those in person. Oh,
Yes, these are.
that's
these
probably
are
the worst ones that I've seen.
very limited
Oh.
shoe. I love these.
Another girl's shoe. I think my wife has a pair of those.
Now these are currently until what you see later.
Let's
these
see what we got there. Those are fresh, dude. Those are
Yeah,
fresh
these-
kicks.
these are-
I would buy those.
These are sweet. These are sweet.
See, those are
shoes.
that's what Kevin Benet was giving you money for. Something nice like that.
Right.
I would totally buy those. Those are fresh shoes. Good job.
All right.
All right. So far, you one for three. Oh God!
Look at that. Look at
What
that,
is-
Dan.
Did you spill a milkshake on it? What is it?
They're
A
suede.
golden
They're
milkshake?
suede, bro. Oh my God. These. I haven't worn these yet. These are just too. They're just too awesome to wear.
Dude, you got it. I mean, if it was just black, but the
Oh no, it's
Oh,
brown.
boy.
It's a brown. It's hard to. It's kind of a copper. It's hard to see.
yeah, that's an interesting shoe,
But-
Dave.
But my creme de la creme.
I'm not gonna hate too bad on that last one. So we'll say you're 2 for 3 of somewhat wearable looking shoes.
These stay in the box. This is how much I love these. They stay in the box.
If this
So-
is the new one. This is painful. This show is going right. Oh God!
Look at that kick. Look
All
at
right, guys.
those.
All right, guys, weigh
It's
in,
Tiffany
please.
blue. It's hard. It looks
Please back me
gray,
up on
but
this.
they're not. This is all Tiffany blue.
It does not look
Tags
gray,
still
Dave.
on
It
them.
looks like ladies.
And
Ladies,
these
ladies,
kickstands
9.5
are
is what
freaking
size
amazing.
those are.
I almost cried when I saw them, Dan. I was just like, they're too. I don't know that I can.
I've
I like
I've
these
been
so
crying
much.
since I saw them on
I
Facebook.
can't
I've
hear
been
you
crying
over what
for
Dan's
your.
saying right now. So I hope it's.
You can't hear me?
No, we lost you, Dan. Did you hit mute or something? Anyways, so that's what Dan's giving me shit about.
Check,
So,
check. Am I back?
My taste in shoes, but somewhere across,
Did you mute me?
I got nothing on you, Dan. Somewhere across the way, I became a shoe guy, and it's crazy, but it is what it is. And Dan and Kevin, Kevin saw on my personal Instagram page, DRB and KGB.
Check
I
one,
usually
two.
post like just me things on there, and Kevin didn't like my shoes, and therefore Dan didn't like my shoes. I still got nothing on you, Dan.
Am I back?
Did you unplug your mic or anything, sir?
I just replugged it in.
Well, we got the pretty face, but we don't have the smoothie jazz sound that is Danny. So, can y'all hear Dan? Is it just
you
me
guys
that
hear
can't
me?
hear Dan?
Did you unplug
You're
your?
being awkward. That's an awkward audio radio
That's
show.
awkward.
Yes,
Can
it
you?
seems like
all right,
it's a commercial
weigh in, guys.
time.
Can you hear me? Because I feel like I could be heard.
Oh man, let me see. Did I push something over here? Let me
Oh,
see.
everybody can hear
Could
you.
be me,
You're the
Dan.
one that took your headphones off
know.
and put them back on.
Let's
I'm over
see.
here busting your
No,
chops.
No, there's
Yeah,
no,
everybody
there's
just
not.
probably tuned you out. They're
Let's
like,
do that.
the
Dan?
show must go on.
We still got nothing
Check
on
1,
Dan,
2.
so we got the show's got to go on until Danny over there figures something out. Somehow
Everybody
I think
can hear
Danny's hit
me.
mute. Oh, y'all hear both of us, so it's on my end.
It's on your end, bud.
Let me check.
Oh man,
it
this is gonna
me.
this.
It is me.
I told you.
All right. So my
Here
shoes.
I was.
my
Here I was
shoes-
tearing you up. I was tearing you up the whole time, and you couldn't hear me. I was sending it for
my
the
amazing
viewers.
shoes, Danny, unplugged you. Is what they did.
Oh man, that was painful.
That
That was
was.
a pain. That was the most painful show we've ever done. I was saying that you were 2 for 3 there for a minute, and then you pulled out that set of
Always
girls'
pull out, Dan.
shoes.
Always pull out, buddy.
It was a terrible pullout.
So let's see. So
Let's talk about things, Dave.
let's talk about the Nissan Frontier, Dan, because I know my buddy Kevin Monet.
I'm not
over
ready
there-
for that.
Well, too bad. I have.
I was
nothing-
ready for
Oh.
for the electric truck talk.
Okay, which one do you want to talk about, Danny?
Let's talk about all of the.
Oh, let's go right.
Theme.
Let me pull this up. Let's go in. So the latest thing is the Hummer, the GMC Hummer.
Yeah, they
So-
just came out with a little bit more refined look on it, or something like that.
No,
you
they
would
did an
say?
SUV.
Oh, not the truck one you're saying.
Right. And once again, we had a guy talking about it that I could care less because I just don't care what sports athletes think about any vehicle, honestly. But so when we get to that, but Dan, anything else? Well, I'm sorry, I've got a
Did I
quick.
throw you off pace because we weren't talking about Frontier?
Not yet.
Yeah, the Hummer. I'm kind of not excited about the Hummer. We already kind of got a little glimpse of that. You know what I'm excited for, Dave, is the electric F-150.
Why that one? So
because
GMC
it's not some jabroni company that's coming out with it.
So Chevrolet came out and Chevrolet came out and said that they were talking about the Silverado, and they said the Silverado is going to have a 400-mile range, which that makes sense in something. So that means Ford has to be super close with theirs, right?
Yeah, I think they were projecting similar numbers. They did that whole thing where they were like, it's going to tow a freight train,
Yeah. Which who cares?
Ford's talking about unveiling it in 21 and then production in 22. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. I don't know if they've really said how much. They haven't released any details yet about how much. I think they're kind of just waiting for Chevy to blow their load on what they're going to do, and then they'll just like one up them by like 50.
Well, but they've kind of done. I mean, let's be honest. They've kind of done. Both of them have already released these things. We're not covering new ground here,
Not specifically, no. Rivian, of course, they're talking about January 2022. That's they're going to have their range 230, 300, 400 mile ranges.
Right. I would play audio on this, guys, but the last time I did it, I got hit with a copyright strike, so I don't want to. Because it's only because of the music they use.
Oh yeah.
But it looks just like a Hummer. You'll see it in a minute. It looks just like the classic Hummer that we all know and loved, except for this one.
Wait,
once again,
no one loved
crab walk. Well, I like the old Hummer, man. I thought it was a cool thing.
Are you talking about like the Hummer, or are you
the
talking about
H2
the thing that they came out that was supposed to look like a Hummer?
Yeah, the H2, H3 stuff. They look cool.
The Suburban with the Suburban with a square body.
Right.
I thought, dude, I hated those.
You didn't
I
like
thought
those?
that was the most terrible wannabe rapper truck you've ever seen.
The H3 that they did with the
H3 was kind of cool. It was all right.
They did
what was it pretty decently.
The Alpha platform, or what was it? The Alpha they called one that front and rear lockers, and it had a lot of cool things.
Yeah, the H3 I could do. The H2 I guess it was. That was just awful. I rode in one somewhat recently. It was just what a terrible vehicle.
Right.
It's like they took all the space out of like a Suburban or whatever, a Tahoe or something like that, and they made it all gaudy and ugly, and that was a terrible vehicle.
But this shows that, hey, look, we're I'll say this, they're trying to do something, but the $100,000 price tag, man, that's ridiculous on that particular one. And let me pull up another one.
Oh, B. Warren said he had an H2 on 22s. Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, sorry, B. Warren. That was the most poser thing you could possibly ever do.
Right?
I despised people that had like Hummers with big wheels. I just thought it was the worst thing ever.
But here's my favorite.
Everybody was trying to like bump the thong song in their Hummer.
Yeah. My favorite right now is the Canoe. I actually own stock in this company. So it's kind of a bargain. It's around $9 a share right now. But I like just how it's completely different, but it's just weird enough, kind of like the Rivian. It's just weird enough, but yet it still holds some traits that you expect these things to see. Now, right now, I think with this particular brand, what's really holding them back is their range. They're only quoted at 250, I think, range in this thing, and I think right now Tesla and all these guys, like if you don't come out with what at minimum those guys are doing, I just don't see where you get any market share, Dan.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's going to be a huge deal. and towing range, I think that'll be a huge deal too. If you can't tow anything more than a couple hundred miles, and what's the point,
Yeah,
driving
and
a
of
diesel?
course that to me, and that's kind of what's the point on a lot of these anyways. And I just once again, I've talked to Kelly about, hey, if this canoe actually comes out, that this could be one of my vehicles sitting in the driveway in a year or two because I like it, and I think it would be really cool for the channel to have something like this. But you never know. You never know what's going on with that. But Danny, we had what was it, a viewer a few weeks ago push us on these, and I watched the videos on it and really liked what the good website, which means a lot. We've seen that one. What was that one company we
Oh,
did over on the
that wasn't
NNP?
Lordstown or something
No,
like
no,
that.
no. There was one where they just took a Titan and sort of just like
And they put a front end. They put like redid the front end a
yeah,
little bit, and
yeah,
and then like stole the Titan picture and just like photoshopped it with some like jazzy looking electrical like smooth lines or something. They basically made a Titan into their um, concept vehicle.
yes, and that was horrible. But here's Lordstown, and of course Lordstown's in a lot of trouble right now. They've got the FBI watching them. I guess there was a little funding to get some funding. They did some naughty things, or that's my understanding. Um, I think Lordstown, even though they got the plant in Ohio, the old GM plant, I think that it's dead on arrival. GM pulled out of them. GM knew something last fall and pulled out from their partnership with them, and I think this company's dead on arrival. Have you seen any of the Lordstown stuff, Dan?
Yeah, I've peeked at it. It looks like they're a ways off still.
Yeah.
I've seen some concept stuff and whatnot, but you know, it's kind of hard to say where they're actually at. Like with what you were saying is, running into financial trouble. I think a lot of these electric truck companies are startups looking to sell off. Trying to get enough groundswell for somebody to buy them out or something like that. It's almost they're really more tech companies than they are truck companies. I think some of
Right.
them.
Well, so now we're on to Tesla. And obviously, the Cybertruck made a lot of waves about a year and a half ago. And, well, they've not, in Tesla fashion, they just haven't came through on anything. Now, granted, when Tesla does say they're going to do something, they actually do build something. I won't say that Tesla doesn't ever, follow through. But the Cybertruck, Dan, I've heard that they've actually re-engined. They've done a slightly smaller version now with some normal
Well,
bumpers
I
and stuff.
imagine they
and-
would have to because it was from everything I heard, it was massive.
Yeah, and the crashed the actual pedestrian stuff because you have to have so much flat surface and you can't have a lot of sharp edges and stuff due to pedestrian right away and stuff. That there was no way that particular thing was going to get through there. But Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan a few weeks ago and said, "Hey, no, that design is pretty close to what you're going to be able to buy, what people put money down on." Um, you can't Tesla, man. I will say that company, obviously their leadership is he's an internet superstar, and when that company wants to release something, they're once again they're pretty on it. Dan, any change of thoughts on the Cybertruck?
Not really. That's kind of one of those where like it's going to happen because Elon Musk he's going to put things on Mars. Like you trust that he's going to do something that he says because he just does the most wild stuff. And if he says he's going to do something, he made these like crazy. If he can make rockets land on barges,
Yeah.
like big dongles land on barges with rockets, he'll make a Cybertruck and he'll make it work, and it'll probably be pretty cool. The styling is what it is. You either like it or you hate it, or you're just completely not interested in it.
Right. Well,
It
Frank
seems so.
Frank B super chat us and said somebody needs to step in and make all electric vehicles plugs universal, and I think everybody has to follow suit with what Tesla's doing. And let's see. Oh, sorry, Dr. Troy. Oh, his truck is being built June 1st, so that is awesome news. Anyways, so what shit? What was I talking about now? Sorry, Dan. Yeah.
Uh, Elon Musk.
Um, I don't know. Anyway, so
Whatever.
let's move on to the next company, which is probably me and Dan's favorite ultimately right now. And Danny, what company would that be?
Rivian?
Rivian, yes. And I actually have a fairly good friend that works for Rivian now. He left the
Nice.
Nissan brand and went to work for quality control in with Rivian. Now he moved.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited about those, dude. I'm really excited about Rivians.
yeah.
As I've said a number of times,
I've I've said this, and of course I said it a little bit ago. Rivian looks like a truck, but it looks just 10 years into the future, just what it needs to
Yeah.
do.
You could see
And
that. You could see that truck on like like a movie that was
yeah,
in the future.
or I
Like
would see this
without
truck.
even blinking.
I would see this going down the road and wouldn't think twice about it. That's how like normalized the shape is of it. Now I
Yeah.
will say this: they call this more of an adventure vehicle. They don't want to go down the it's a it's a capable tow everything 100,000 pound truck. No, they know the market for this, and it's exactly what you see in this picture right now. It's some younger people, mid-30s, probably don't have kids. They're probably adventuring, or they're going to their cabin for the weekend, whatever they're doing. And I think they know the market. And of course, this truck's supposed to actually be out fairly soon, if I remember right. They're pretty damn close to being production ready.
Yeah, this 75K is a little bit much, but if you look at F-150s and stuff, like really nice F-150s, which this will probably have all the things of a really really nice F-150. That's not a huge jump, and then if you're not paying for gas, that'll account for um, you know, however much per year. If you're
Yeah.
driving 8 to 10,000 miles a year, you multiply that by $3 a gallon or whatever it is. That makes up a big difference in price. Um, and then for that you're going to get something that has more horsepower, way more torque. You're going to get massive amounts of accoutrements like the crazy all-wheel drive type capabilities,
Right.
the big
Like
screens,
tri-motors and
futuristic
all that. Yeah.
looks and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's a lot more that you're getting in this expensive truck. I think there are some things that you're not getting, but still it's got a really cool like autonomous driving
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's something cool gonna be coming out about that.
Well,
Like it's definitely gonna push up the expectations for trucks.
this company
Especially electric trucks.
they were smart enough too to not want to go full size. This is more of a mid-sized truck. And I
Yeah,
think
it's
the
kind of
buyer
a little bit bigger than midsize, but
but the buyer for
not
this
full
is
size.
not a EV tech right now is not a full size car or truck tech. I know Tesla's the S is fairly big, but I think to get everybody into EVs, this is exactly what you need to do. Sort of a mid-size vehicle, something you easily put in your garage because you're going to have to charge this. So at some point, it needs to be in the garage, or you need a charging port outside your house. I just feel like it's the people that want to buy this are people who are condo people or something like that. They don't need a lot of from their lifestyle. They just need sort of a truck and move on.
Yeah, and I mean it has a big bed. It has what they call the frunk, which is the front trunk because they have extra
Hmm.
space under the hood. So it's got a lot of space for storage and whatnot, which is pretty cool. I think the bed is almost a 6 foot bed if I remember right as well.
Well, it says here right now that the front trunk measures 25.4 by 54.8.
Which is
Uh,
pretty wild.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
which is
think it has
nice.
some extra little storage in the sides and stuff. It's
Hmm.
it's it's pretty well thought out. It's very I don't want to say it's gimmicky. There's definitely a better word for it, but it's got a lot of cool little things. Like gimmicky would be all these like tailgate things that we saw in the last truck. Oh, everybody's trying to have the coolest tailgate. Well, this has little pop out storage areas here and there and stuff like that. And I don't think those are gimmicks. I think they were like, oh, here's some space. Let's make something cool here. I don't think they're necessarily. You don't see them everywhere. So it's not like they're necessarily selling points, but it's like cool stuff that they're like, hey, we had this space, we made it usable for you because we're engineering the piss out of it. So I think that's pretty cool.
Well, and let me pop this up here. So let's get into the Chevrolet. It's confirmed that 400-mile Silverado will be built alongside the GMC Hummer EV, which makes sense. You're going to build all this, might as well do it all in a same plant. Plus, they're not cranking out 100,000 of these things a year right now, anyways. But right here, you can see it's not like it's been a secret. You can see in this picture, this is pretty much what it's going to look like in the background there. No need for a big grill on EV because you got nothing to cool other than the
Yep.
brakes. So there's just no need for any of that stuff. I think it's still going to be smaller than a normal Silverado. I think it's going to be in the
I agree.
Rivian size for this. Even though I know Ford's kind of hinted that theirs is going to be F-150 size. I really think, Danny, the smarter play is to do a smaller truck. Kind of instead of GM taking on Ford with the Maverick of the little small commuter pickup truck or whatever that is going to be.
Yeah.
Do it EV wise, and once you get that established, step it. It's not like Nissan did the GTR, which is a full size car right now. They started with a Z. And
Yeah.
even the old Skyline GTRs were kind of small to mid-sized cars, and then you step it up
Mhm.
into a full thing. So follow that trajectory and just kind of ease everybody into these things.
Trajectory. Hmm?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of Danny's
a-
words over there this week.
It's a professional trajectory.
I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm tired, Dan. And when we get to the last
Me too.
one, let's see. There's nothing officially out on this thing just yet, but we'll talk about it anyways. Here is a picture where they released this thing I want to say it was almost this time last year. So there you go. It's just a normal F-150. Definitely EV platform. They've just thrown a body on this thing because, well, they wanted to, and it shows it towing a train, blah, blah, blah. The cool stuff about EV is, yes, it's an electric motor, so the towing capabilities are endless. The bad
Yeah.
part of EVs is you tow a heavy load and there is no charge. You can't.
It's gonna suck
Yes, there's no balance to that right now, Dan.
hard. Yeah, that's for sure.
But Ford, I think there's going to be a good battle between them and Chevrolet, and I think Rivian and some of these other companies end up getting gobbled up. Is what I think happens. There's too many car companies now. Too many people make good vehicles, and I've said this on my other show that I think in 10 years we're at 75% of the makers we have right now. And in 15 years, you're down to 50% of the makers. And then, because there's no exciting thing with Danny with EV, where I don't think you were on the show when I talked about this. With EV, other than interior, where is the excitement? Where can you lay your hat on and go, oh man, that Lamborghini EV versus the Ferrari? Oh my God, the V12. Like, an electric motor is an electric motor. They don't build. They don't build
just
them.
Something that's not as exciting for some reason.
Yeah, and it
at
doesn't
least yet. It may get exciting, but most of the crazy EV stuff is like hybrid style, like a lot of the new like hypercars are like hybrid style. Where it has 1,200 horsepower, but it's half motor, half electric engine, or half regular motor, half electric. So that those things are pretty sweet, but the excitement for just EV, I don't know. There's something lacking there. You're for sure right.
So B. Warren says, didn't Amazon place a large order with Rivian? I believe they did. Let me look that up real quick. 'Cause I don't want to. I know Amazon was placing.
Whole Apple iCar is ever coming out.
Yeah, so here is the Rivian. I'll pop it up on the screen real quick. Apple's having a problem with theirs right now because they're having a problem with they can't find a maker that actually wants to. Apple wants to be an Apple car and completely an Apple car, and every manufacturer they hit with, whether it be Nissan or Hyundai, they're all like, "No, we'll partner with you," but Apple wants an Apple thing, and they're like, "No, we're not just going to be a manufacturer." They want their
proprietary everything.
Yes. So let's see. Let me pop this up here.
So I'm curious, if you had an Apple car, would you have the little apple as like the front emblem?
You know it.
So douchey looking.
You know it. So let's see. Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos said the company has placed an order of 100,000 electric delivery vans from Michigan-based Rivian.
Wow.
The vans are to be on the road by 2024, which is actually pretty quick. I know in my field right now, Dan, there's no way EV would work for us. I don't see it on the battlefield. Can you ever imagine, like...
No.
I
No,
know
I don't think we're there even close yet.
because what for in military wise, there's certain requirements. You got to be able to refuel quite quick. There's a lot of things, and
Yeah.
and then you think about military, like think about your country strategically, if I can say that right. Um, you take a EMP blast, and you just wiped out how much EV tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's definitely a long way to go before you're going to see any of that stuff out in the real hardcore environments. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to start
Well, and I would
somewhere.
say this too, Dave, is watching that long way up or whatever. The EVs did terrible in like freezing weather or like extremely cold weather. They did terrible.
And in
Batteries
extreme
don't
heat.
do great. Yeah,
Extreme heat as
batteries
well.
just don't do great when they get freezing cold. That they're saying they have charge, but they don't actually. And
Yeah.
so there's still hurdles, man. There's definitely still hurdles. It might not be a big deal for Southern California, but if you get up in North Dakota, South Dakota, sometimes the winters are in, it's 1 degree or whatever, 5 degrees. Those areas are not going to be. They're not going to be doing so well.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, for I'm stop and go all the time with my vehicle needs, and EV's not going to work for me right now. There was some talk of some glass tech that was coming out that was supposed to kind of revolutionize the EV world, kind of going away from lithium. But I think we're still 10, 15 years from that actually coming to fruition, and so we'll see. I wanted to get into the EV a little bit there, just because it's been with the Hummer and all that. It's been the talk again, and I will say too, as a car journalist, like EV, like these companies don't come to us anymore. They go to tech computer guys to launch their vehicles. It's a very strange time for that too. Like they'll go to some guy that just does nothing but talk about building the latest tech and want those guys to review these things, and it's going to be a strange world in 10 years, I can tell you that, Dan.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we'll see them everywhere in 10 years, that's for sure, just because of the current push. I mean, it's happening. It's not like it's not happening, and it's one or two. There's a ton of them out there, just between cars and trucks and new companies and tech and whatnot. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter of what it's going to look like in 10 years.
Well, did you see? I'm gonna pop this up on the screen real quick because I thought it was kind of cool. Let me show the pictures. All right, there it is. Once again, sorry, some of this is on the fly. All right, Dan, did you see the image that somebody did of a Nismo version of the new Frontier?
I think
they sort of
so.
dropped it and added big skirts and stuff, and it looks like 22s. It looks like GTR wheels, basically all they've done to it. But kind of an interesting idea. If you guys don't know, if you're new to Dan and Dave here, we broke the news last April that Nissan was doing the potential Nismo Frontier back then, and I showed you pictures of it. I showed you pictures of basically what the Frontier looked like. It was a rough picture, but
right.
holds pretty true now, and now people are, it's starting to leak that Nismo is actually going to do something. So we're seeing some kind of cool sketches of that. I will say this though, the more I see of this truck, Danny, the less I like it. And I'm not gonna jump on because it looks Toyota-ish or anything like that. I watched one of the big channels reviews on it the other day where they got to go to the design studio and sit in the truck and all this. And the amount of parts they've reused in this thing from a truck that's already 15, 16 years old is ridiculous. The map light they showed, the little buttons up on the above the on the head of the roof, were exactly what's in your truck right now. Who wants to go buy a new truck that's I understand the frame.
Everything's got that, dude.
No. Toyota's they're redoing the Tacoma right now. You think they're like, well, we better reuse this part. I understand the framing.
I'm not too worried about map lights.
No, but it does give a sense of cheapness. The lock, the windows up and down buttons and all the lock stuff, exactly the same position, exactly the same buttons.
Well, they're perfect, Dave.
No, I agree.
Why fix it? It ain't broken. They're perfect. That's how they are.
I like Nissan's layout on their vehicles. I've owned many of them, but I just I'm starting to. And then it came out the other day, and you commented on a post I did where it showed the base model floating around. They're testing, and it looks like dog shit to me, man. And
Base
maybe
model, everything looks like dog shit.
nah, not always. Not
yes,
always.
yes. The base model Tacoma looks like dog shit. Base model Ford looks like dog shit. Base model Canyon, all of those look like dog shit. I would even say that like the Chevys look even more dog shit, and the Fords look even more dog shit in their super stock form.
Right.
They all look like complete shit. I never look at those because I'm like, oh, that's dog shit because it's just a stock junker truck, you know. Like
I
the
don't
only way
know,
it's gonna
man.
look good is
I
you
look at the
freshen it up.
current lineup and of Nissan the Frontier, and I look at more of a base model they offer, and it just I don't know. It's something about this design is not sitting well with me. And you guys, if you've been with me for 5-6 years now, you guys know I've been a huge fan of the Frontier, and I've been a huge fan of Nissan bringing the next Frontier out. And me, Danny, I don't know how many hours of content we have on this. I bet we have days of content talking about the Frontier. And I'm not crapping on it now because I don't do the Nissan side as much anymore. I don't know, man. I just constantly see the cheapness in this stuff, and maybe it's stuff that I was kind of.
I think B Warren hit it. I think B Warren hit the nose on the head. All manufacturers do it. You're just more familiar with Nissan and recognize it more. I think there is a good chance there that's
I don't think a lot of manufacturers do base models anymore.
Well, I'm just saying for the cheapness and the the things that are reused.
I do agree. Yes, I think because I've spent so much time in a Frontier over 10 years with the Frontier alone that yes, I probably do pull some things out, but I don't know, man. There's been a couple things, and I'm never going to say, oh, it looks like the Tacoma, because, guys, the thing does not look like a Tacoma. The only thing Nissan did wrong was bringing out in the exact same color that Tacoma.
Yeah, they should have never brought it out in that gray.
I would have brought it out in a red or just be different.
Yeah, bring it out in a red, I think. Well, they probably couldn't accent all those little red highlights that they did with the red, but bring it out in the tan. Well, I don't know. The tan's kind of a gold color as well, but still.
I'm Gone in 60 Seconds says, I predict another mini truck craze like in the 80s and 90s with the Ford Maverick. Could be, man. I was a part of the mini truck craze, man. I rocked an S10, a dropped and lowered S10 and big speakers and all that. I am
to
not
go with his wardrobe and his Adidas.
Shut up, man. Shut up. But let's look at the Ford Maverick real quick, because pictures of
let's take a look at it.
Pictures have been popping out of that, and Ford's not even trying to hide the thing anymore. They haven't even officially released it, but they're just like, F it. We're just gonna keep showing it. Who cares? Like, they don't need that. They don't need an official drop of this thing. But let's.
I hope it doesn't have the look of like the Subaru Baja when they finish. Well, I'm scared that because there's been a couple concepts and stuff, and we've seen some stuff, but I really hope they don't go with that like rear slant looking thing that makes it look like a Subaru Baja, because that would kill it for me.
I'm trying to find a good picture of this thing.
As long as it has like a decent like truck style bed. Like I've seen a bunch of where it has like a slant thing in the back of the truck, and I'm like,
Yeah, I can't show that.
It's very Ridgeline-esque.
Well, but it's a unibody, dude, so it's got to be. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a unibody.
Yeah, I agree.
But
just don't make it look like a Subaru Baja.
I'm trying to find.
I'm not knocking Subaru Bajas. I just don't want their little truck to look like a Subaru Baja.
Here we go. This is about the best I can do right now on short notice. But there's roughly the idea. There's some pictures floating around of this thing with next to a Ranger, and it actually is a lot smaller than the Ranger, which is good. Definitely for the truck world. And what this thing is going for is definitely like go past any auto parts store. You'll see them sitting there because they are fuel efficient. They're going to offer a 3 or 4-cylinder engine in this because it's built on the same platform that the Bronco Sport is built on, which was the old Escape platform. I like that it looks a little different than what Ford does, but not too different. And of course, like you were saying, Dan, the way they've done the bed in this thing to show it, they have to do the rigidness of it.
Yeah, and so they have to have that space behind the rear in the C pillar. Basically, they have to
Yeah.
have that space that locks into the bed because the bed is part of the truck. So there has to be that portion back there. But I think by putting like the rear, like those rear, I don't know. I think it just looks a little bit weird because that bed. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to looking at trucks with the bed that's kind of separated, and it's got cabin bed. Now it's got like it almost looks like the bed molds into the frame. Well, the bed does mold into the frame, and it kind of takes away from something about it. It's like
Yeah.
you made it into a truck.
Uh, there's just not any good. I've seen some pictures of it. There's a lot of concepts I keep popping on. I don't want to show those. But I think Maverick's going to push as long as it takes off. If when they drop this thing, they sell 50 to 60,000 a year, that's a hit for this thing, and it's going to force GM and some of these other companies to want to do it. I know when I worked for Nissan engineering would come by where I worked in the plant, and they would talk to you, and I built a good rapport with some of these guys. And they wanted to do a hard body. What was it? The what D21 platform? I think is what that was called.
Yeah,
They wanted to build that again. Like
they wanted to remake that.
they would update the body obviously, but they wanted to use the framing and everything because it would be cheap for them to do that. Problem
Right.
was they couldn't get it to pass crash testing at all.
Yeah.
Modern standards it was never going to pass, so they just dropped that. But I know Nissan for 10, 15 years now have wanted to bring a pup truck back in. And Danny, I wish pup trucks would
I
come
would
back.
be down for that. Yeah, there's that little that other little electric pup truck that was very it was very Toyota Nissan esque with the bed that had the hooks in it and stuff like that. I don't know if you saw that running around. I think it was more of a concept kind of thing, but somebody dropped a couple of pictures of those on some social media and it looked pretty cool. But that would be super cool to see something like that pop back in.
Yeah, I think so too. I I don't know. Companies like Nissan, they need to take chances on something like that, or some even Toyota could take a chance on something like that. Toyota has the people love their small trucks as is. It hasn't always translated into their full size sales, but definitely I think that companies like them could take a chance. Now I'm getting I want to wrap up here with the Frontier a little bit. I did happen to notice when they were showing the Frontier that's at the design center there in California, the interior wasn't as flashy as what we saw in that reveal. They had a lot of the stitching and stuff, but the colorful grab handles and stuff weren't weren't there exactly. Oh,
For
here it
what
is.
now? Sorry, I missed.
They got little grab handles like they do in the Bronco, and in the door
For what
they
truck those? What
the
you were saying?
Frontier.
Oh, okay.
So, here, I'll show you real quick. I've got it up. All right, so you can see all the little colorful grab handles and all that. So the one they're showing now does not have that exactly, and kind of bummed me out a little bit. But there,
Yeah, that was kind of the cooler part of the interior stuff that we were really digging when it first popped out, right?
yeah. So I'm gonna put up a photo here of TFL. They were sent a spy photo, and I'm sure I'll get a nasty email saying I should have asked their permission before showing their page like I have in the previous times, but I don't care. But this is more of the base model I was talking about, guys. And look how they've just done the fog lights. They're not even changing the bumpers, man. Let's just throw a piece of plastic in there. The side of this thing looks almost like if you took that front end off, it almost looked like the same truck we have now. If you put your hand over that front end, Dan, and just look at the side of that thing, it damn sure almost looks like the same truck.
I completely disagree.
I don't know. Something about it, though. Of course, you can see in the background there, you see the Infinity that they're testing, the QX60 back there that they're testing. And why do they even hide the grills on these things anymore, logos? They've revealed the vehicle. Ford didn't do that when they.
It's odd. It's odd that they're doing that.
Once they showed the Bronco, Ford didn't go, well, we better cut. We can't have people knowing there's. You've revealed the truck, man. Let people see it. They know it's a Nissan. Um, I just was kind of, and I talked to Dan about the grill. I was kind of hoping that each trim, like they did on the Titan refresh, each trim gets a unique grill, and it doesn't look like they're going to do it on this.
Yeah. I mean, I like the grill, so
Yeah, I don't dislike the grill. I'm just saying, I don't know. It doesn't lend itself to be special.
yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
But
I mean, I hopefully they have like a version that maybe they'll have a blackout version that has the painted grill, which I always like that, where it's a nice painted black grill.
yeah.
But
Anyway, so that's my rants of the week, guys. So
Dave, real quick, pull up the Alpha Wolf.
Alpha Wolf. All right.
Alpha Wolf electric truck. This is the one that I was just talking about, and this is one of my favorite new little things
yes.
to pump through the internet. It's like they took like an old 720 like an old 720 and turned it into an electric truck. If I was to come out with a hard body, if they popped out this as a hard body remake, I would lose my shit. It just looks like the coolest little truck to cruise around in.
I'm gonna get. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna get you a better.
And I wanna get our guests on here to weigh in. I just think it's freaking great, dude. It's so freaking great.
Yeah, this is kind of how you drop in an electric vehicle. This is how you should
offer it with a little that Toyota style little extra cab. You know, just so you get a little extra interior room. God, dude, that'd be like the most perfect. I would buy one for my daughter the second she turns 16. You know?
Yeah, great color in
it's
this
like
thing.
The perfect first little vehicle for somebody. I mean, it's not like you'd afford it, but
I don't know. The cheesy sort of bumper on the front is kind of silly to me, but I like.
Yeah,
the
but
overall...
it doesn't really have a bumper, so they put that on, that is the bumper, which I dig, dude. If it's if it's metal, like sweet, dude. Like that's exactly what you should have on your showroom.
Well,
I don't know. I freaking love it, dude.
No, I'm with you, dude. It does definitely throw back the old Toyota vibe.
They're saying that Alpha Wolf would start at 36,000, which is a pretty solid little truck for 36. I mean, you're looking at the same for like a pretty decent truck at that price range, but still it's not too bad.
But let me see if I can find any well, here we can hit reserve. You can reserve one. All right, so starting MSRP is 36,000 to 46,000, which sounds like a lot of money, and it is, but
you got to think gas prices. 10,000 miles at $3 a gallon. That's 3,000. 10,000 miles, and let's say 20. Let me do some calculation, boys and girls.
Sorry, math's not his strong. His not his strong suit.
10,000. We'll say the average mid-sized truck gets 20 miles a gallon. How does that sound?
Sure.
10,000 divided by 20 is 500. Divided by 3. Nope, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Somebody do the math for me.
Kevin says, does Dave have shoes in that color?
Oh, probably.
I do like this. I wanted in my Bronco. I kind of wanted this kind of color, but Kelly, she said no. But the mileage, once again, Dan, so 250 to 275 miles range. Now it's a smaller vehicle, so yeah, less battery space. So maybe that's not too bad for that size of vehicle.
Yeah, so it gives a little bit of dimension, kind of give you an idea. The Toyota Tacoma comes at a 212-inch length, and this is a 188-inch length. So it's about, what is that, 40?
Yeah. Look at the
30 inches. Well,
have you seen the jacks? Inches. So the jacks looks like an old Celica or something.
No, I haven't seen that.
It'll pop up for you in just a second. Same MSRP. But the thing about the truck that I did notice, if you get the single motor, it's a front-wheel drive, Dan.
Oh.
Yeah. 4-wheel drive.
Ooh, the Jax is cool.
Yeah, 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, which is pretty slow, but not for that. Who cares?
No, dude, that's quick for a little truck, dude. That's quick. That's not. I mean, if you were to compare it to a little 4-cylinder truck, that's quick.
Yeah, the standard coupe.
It would feel peppy with that, because you got to remember that's like, you're gonna feel that pep throughout the
Now,
power band. So
the standard coupe that you'll see pop up here in a minute is 250 mile plus range, single motor, rear wheel drive. So that's kind of cool for a coupe.
that reminds me of the what is it, the six? What's the Nissan 600 something?
Oh, the IDX.
What was it? No. I'm talking about the old school one.
Oh yeah,
it came out a little bit after the 510s. The six. It was a six something.
Well, it turned into the Sentra basically.
Yeah, but I dig that roof swoop.
Yeah, but these are
That's a
definitely
cool looking little car, dude. Very IDX feel to it, but with a little bit different. It's like an IDX hatch.
They're definitely not built though. Those are definitely
Yeah, those are concepts.
yeah.
But I dig it.
Oh, of
Very
course.
Cool looking.
Once again, I think a lot of these EV companies are throwing darts, going, "Hey, somebody buy us out. We're showing something. We're a design. It's a design experiment, and will be a hit enough that GM or somebody goes, "Hey, I'll just buy you out for $1 billion."
Yeah.
But no, those
Give
are
me your tech.
definitely cool, and obviously you can do it. Let's see, you can do a reservation on it. It doesn't say how much money to drop, and I don't see anything about a time frame either. So
Yeah.
definitely everybody's using that Tesla $100. Throw $100 down, basically help us.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like
crowdsourcing.
Yeah, it's like
crowdfunding.
GoFundMe my car.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that auto manufacturers are doing GoFundMe's for new car builds?
My God. One of my favorite TV shows of all time is Mystery Science Theater 3000. And I'm
with you, Dave.
The early years. I don't like the second host and the current host of it.
Yeah, the OGs, dude.
But they raised, I forget how many $1 million they raised in one day so they could keep producing that show. And it's the model for a lot of these things, man.
And butts were born. Classic, dude. Freaking classic.
Yeah, definitely. Any other cool EVs out there, Dan, that I don't know about? Because I've seen this, but I didn't
special.
I didn't research it.
I haven't come across too many. That, like I said, that Alpha Wolf is the one thing that caught my eye recently. That's probably the coolest thing that I've seen out there, other than that canoe truck that we've talked about a couple times now. That thing's kind of innovative and cool looking. That one's growing on me quite a bit ever since you started talking about it.
Yeah. So it looks like Alpha, they plan to have to consumers by 2023. So, that's not actually that far away anymore.
It really isn't. That's a year and a half.
Yeah. So, where do you think in 5 years, where are we with EVs, Dan? So right now they're like 3% of the market share.
I see it doubling at least in 5 years.
Yeah,
at least doubling, if not more. I mean, my good buddy that owns the big Ford dealership and all the other dealerships out here, they just acquired a electric car company dealership, and I'm totally spacing on what it is. I didn't even know what it was until he told me, and I looked it up, and they were pretty cool, really fresh. He said he had one for a little while. He said it's really, really nice. Totally hangs with the Teslas and all the specs and stuff like that. So maybe we can have him on in the next couple weeks or something like that, and he can talk about because he's big in the industry. It's the largest Ford dealership in the U.S. and then They have, like I said, they have like 4 or 5 other dealerships. But
I wish I would have known when I ordered my Bronco, Dan. I could have maybe been a priority. So I want to get in. I'm glad you talked about Ford. So I had people telling me on some videos I did 6 months ago or so that when I placed or talked about doing my order, that I was like, hey, I'm being pushed to one of the top of the list. And they're like, there's no way. People, they don't do that. Your reservation number is blah, 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 this and that. I was like, hey, man, it's what the dealership told me. And come to find out last week that Ford has offered dealerships 1 to 2 priority reservation spots that the dealership can use how they see fit. And it doesn't matter if you ordered today a 2021 and they push it through and say, this is the guy we want as a priority. You're pushed all the way to the front of the list, man. And I want to say to all the haters out there who watched my videos and just dogged the shit out of me about that. I want to say suck it for one thing, because I told you guys this is how it works, and it happened with the C8 Corvette. How do you think every YouTuber out there had a C8 Corvette before everybody else?
Yep.
This is how it works. Now, I will say I'm for my dealership, I contacted them the other day about it. I'm a high priority for them, but I didn't get the 2 spots they have, which it's fine. They still have some wiggle room to push me in places that most people can't get. I was informed that I will have my Bronco way before a lot of people that's ordered them. So that made me feel good, even though I couldn't get the spots. And what I think dealers are going to probably do with these, because a lot of salesmen placed orders for these things. And I guarantee you the dealership's like, you know why the
club's going to get them.
Yeah. Well, you know why the dealership allows these guys to place the orders, because the dealership wants the vehicle. And you're going to see it in a showroom for, let's see, the first editions right now are $60,000. You'll see them for $80,000. I guarantee it. Within weeks of deliveries, you're going to start seeing them for that, and it's because dealerships got their salesmen to give them their vehicles. But anyways, I wanted to say suck it to everybody who said that I was lying about that. I didn't know what I was talking about, and so there you go, guys. That's my latest news on Bronco. I'm on track. I think Danny. We'll know in May.
What's your projected ETA? Do you know?
They'll let me know in May. It's on the Ford website, and I will show you guys my Ford website where it shows all this stuff, so you know I'm not just talking out of my ass. But I'm a day 3 reservation holder, and I think that means
you really were that early.
Mm-hmm. I could have been a day 1, and I just kind of was back and forth. You know, I'm a Nissan dude, man. Like.
Oh, I know. You were waiting for that Frontier for a long time.
And it just, Nissan wasn't going to show us anything about that. So I was like, F it, man. I'm just going to go with this Bronco for a bit. And it's been very profitable for this channel to kind of do that. And I think, Danny, let's see, our buddy over at Lifestyle, he's a day 1 or 2 reservation holder. And I'm a 3. And I think they've started producing now. If Dr. Detroit's on here, he'll let us know. But they started producing the Broncos for reviews and stuff now, and they're VIPs like Jay Leno and a lot of these guys. I call with my best Russian voice. Tell him I'm Andre with TFL. No, that wouldn't get me very far with Ford. But I think, Danny, I want to say late August, early September is when I think I'll have it for my Nissan event, which is going to be kind of awkward because I will not have any Nissan off-road vehicles to take to my last Nissan event that I'm doing. So I'm gonna take the Bronco.
Oh, sad, Dave.
Why is that sad, man?
Kelly's sad for me.
Oh, are you coming to win? Or you think you're gonna get a chance to come?
I'm still planning on it.
Right.
You know how I plan my life.
I know, but you also hit me up with Danny wants to go to Z Nationals. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So
Danny, big Z event. They racing. We were supposed to go last year until then it got canceled and stuff like that. But
yeah, and then
I really wanted to go last year, and then things went stupid.
Yeah, the world went dumb. All right, guys. So questions, comments before we get out of here. Danny's pacing the floor over there. I got a feeling he's probably got to pee. His old man bladder's probably kicked in, and
I'm drinking like twice as much as you do.
Oh, how do you know, dude? I got like
twice as much alcohol, just drinking twice as much.
Because you got nothing else to do.
Got nothing else to do.
But bring your any questions, comments. Bring the juke. Bree Warren says. Hopefully the juke's gone by then. So the juke, let me tell you about the juke sale. So I've got it up on Facebook Marketplace right now. I've told everybody I paid $7,000 for that car. I'm selling it for $7,000. But, Danny, I have almost $2,500 in aftermarket parts I've added to this thing. And if you add the wheels that I got for free and tires, there's probably $4,000 worth of addition. Yeah. I only want $7,000 for the car. Plus, it's been tuned by Z1.
Yeah.
Dude, I get the most ridiculous things on Facebook Marketplace. What'd you expect? Hey, man, what's the lowest you take?
Yeah.
Read the freaking ad for one thing. So I actually bumped the price up to $7,500.
So you could tell them 7,000.
Yeah. So if these people would shut up.
I
about
always
it.
I always overprice it, and then people, because you get a million people asking, and they just want to pretend like they got a good, they want to feel like they got a good deal. That's how I always overprice stuff, and then I'll be like, I'll take 4,000.
Right.
Or
Well,
whatever it is that you're asking, and you put it up for 8.
And
I
I know,
oh, I got it for half price.
yeah, I know the juke's a tough sale no matter what, because it's a juke for one thing, and then it's a manual train. But
Hold on, Dave. Hold on, Dave. Wait, nobody wants to hear about the juke. Really,
Okay.
we just want to listen to B. Warren send the zingers over here, dude. Did you see that latest one?
yes, I see. I would rock shoes in that.
Oh.
I would rock shoes in that plaid.
Danny needs to cut a piece of fabric for them curtains so Dave can make some new shoes.
Hey man, Papa needs.
You know what? Dave would run those shoes and a flannel, the same thing, and he'd grow this hair out, and he'd just sit there and play some freaking Pearl Jam all afternoon in the basement.
How do you know Pearl Jam's my band, man?
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. That was.
I know it is.
So
'cause it's my jam too.
So in the grunge age, I'm a little older than Danny, but you're still kind of that grunge.
No, I freaking love that grunge music.
But you were as a child of that, you were the tail end of a lot of that.
But here was the thing, Dave. I listened to all my older brother's music.
Right. Well, and as I did,
So that's how I figured
I did
it
with
out,
my
yeah.
sister. She introduced me to Cheap Trick and a lot of cool bands from the '70s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pearl Jam was my band growing up, and their drummer Dave Abrizian, I can never say his name. He's my Jimi Hendrix because I was a drummer professionally. I play guitar and sing too, but I always I'm a drummer. I can sing okay, even though Danny's bugged the piss out of me to sing and play guitar.
Parumpa pum pum.
But so their drummer was my Hendrix, man, and I got to see them in 1994 here locally. And dude, it was the greatest thing in my life. And after that, and they released a cool album, and then they got rid of that drummer, and I lost complete interest in that band. But so everybody goes, "Oh, Pearl Jam was the band of the '90s." Do you realize bands like Stone Temple Pilots, and a lot of other bands had way more hits than these guys do?
Yeah, there was some huge names that were popping out at the time, but Pearl Jam has a little bit of like the all-encompassing sound look feel of the grunge. I think that's why they took that. They're kind of like the token grunge band, is because they had like they're so token. They're like an amazing version of Creed.
But they're a band now that you couldn't pay me to go see.
Pearl Jam?
Oh God, they're like a cover band now.
I don't know if I'd see them. I don't think I would.
I don't want to, and I don't want to ruin. There's certain bands. As a musician, like I'm the worst guy to go see music live because I find their flaws real quick. I can tell when they f something up, and I just see it. And so I'm the worst person. But I don't want to ruin my experience from 1994 at the peak of that band.
Yeah. No,
And
that's like going back and watching old movies over again.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I just want to leave that in its beautiful little piece in my memory.
Or it's the Rolling Stones playing the Super Bowl like 10 years ago, and it was like, it was like these old guys. It was like some bar band trying to be the Rolling Stones. It was horrible.
It's hard. They're all just half dead and stuff. It's more like watching like a Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, like all the old dead sailors on the boat.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Well, you know, guys, Danny and me did a podcast one time where we did movie reviews, which was quite fun. You remember that, Dan? Where we were doing summer
we did that a couple
blockbusters?
times.
Anyway, so Dan, I'm about out of
all
it,
the
man.
things.
You got anything else you want to add to this?
Yeah, we've covered everything from shoes to grunge music.
Kicks to grunge.
We kind of been all over the boat.
Oh, let me look through here real quick to see if there was anything. B. Warren says looks like this company.
You must call the Ford dealership and get them to get you a car for Andre from TFL.
He love you a long time. B. Warren says looks like the company partnered with Pixar and Xbox of that Alpha Wolf.
Yep, a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. It'd be fun.
Sorry, I'm just trying to scan through here real quick. See if anything sticks out. It's dead on arrival if Dave can't do a hydraulic bed. What were we talking about? Put some 13-inch spokes on it.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Let's see. Predict the mini truck craze. I don't see anything groundbreaking there, guys. So from all things, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive, guys. Please check out the BMW video. My feelings have been very, very hurt. Nobody's watched that video. I'm sure I'll have some Bronco content out this week, guys, if you're Bronco fans. And Danny, what are we?
Out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all. Danny's going to do something on the N&P here, I think, maybe next week. So maybe
we'll
a classic
see.
Dave and Dan show.
It's like my schedule right now is really whack, so I was
See?
lucky to get on tonight. So
See? You never know.
we'll try.
We might